Good morning and welcome to the news at 7. I am David Okwasile. The headlines: Obiano urges members of Nigerian Legion to key into agriculture to improve standard of living. State government initiates more measures to promote technical education. 7 persons killed in communal land conflicts in Benue State. And on the foreign scene, flash floods sacks families in Iraq. We begin from Oka here, where Governor Willie Obiano has charged members of the Nigerian Legion to key into the agricultural program of the state government to reduce poverty in the society. He gave the charge during a ceremony organized by the state chapter of the Nigerian Legion at Professor Doraku Women Development Center in Oka. The governor, who was represented by the chairman of the State Supervisory Committee on Vigilante Matters and Senior Special Assistant on Vigilante Matters, Chief Ikechukwu Adupa, assured of the state government's assistance to the legionaries in the agricultural pursuits. He recalled the gallant and noble roles played by the ex-servicemen during the First and Second World Wars, as well as the Nigerian Civil War, pointing out that no efforts should be spared to avoid the speech and other actions capable of causing disaffection, disunity, and crisis in the country. For his part, the chairman of the state chapter of the Nigerian Legion, Elder Wampo, enumerated the challenges facing the association, to include lack of a befitting office, operational vehicles, among others, and called for urgent and positive intervention of the state government. The event featured presentation of merit awards to the wife of the governor, Dr. Mrs. Ebelechukwu Obiano, the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Garab Omar, and the Managing Director of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade, Mr. Patrick Obiefna, for their selfless services to humanity. The theme for this year's Nigeria Legion Day celebration is empowerment of widows of fallen heroes. The state government has assured more measures to further reposition and transform technical colleges across the state. The Commissioner of Basic Education, Professor Kate Omenoa, disclosed this while receiving an award from a non-governmental organization, Bring It On Africa, at Jerome Udoji State Secretariat, Oka. Paul Ezoke reports.
Professor Omenoa said government is rebuilding and equipping the colleges to meet the demands of the day and provide technical services to the public, noting that technical education holds great future prospects for the society. She attributed the success recorded in the education sector to Governor Willie Obiano's support to the drive for youth entrepreneurship, zero unemployment, hands-on experience training for students, and capacity-building programs for teachers. The commissioner expressed satisfaction that all the 12 technical colleges and 24 trade subjects have received full accreditation of the National Board for Technical Education, thereby giving the students labor market credibility, while the teachers have continued to receive local, national, and international capacity-building programs, and Teachers Industrial Work Experience Scheme has also been introduced. According to Professor Omenoa, the state government is also rebuilding model hostels in all the colleges and is partnering with many entrepreneurs, industrialists, and others to provide hands-on experience training for the students in every trade subject they are learning.
Where we want to get those who are, if you like, roadside artisans and stuff, where we want to get them into our technical colleges, to go and run short courses, and we certify them, and that gives them, for example, someone that is doing hairdressing, we need to have a certificate to make sure that in terms of, say, cleanliness, hygiene, and all those things, if you are doing pedicure and manicure, they are doing it in correct environment. That's what you are doing, so that people do not get it to curtail the spread of diseases and stuff like that. People who are molding blocks, we have some form of certification, because that will make you to know how to mold block properly, merging both theory and practice, and be able to do it properly, and that will also help us checking, collapse of buildings, and that's the way that's where we are going to go now, and that's what we want to do. In the next couple of years, I hope we are going to achieve this.
Presenting the award earlier, the president of the organization, Mr. Shibu Onweke, said the honor was in recognition of the remarkable contributions and selfless service of the commissioner in educational development. Mr. Onweke noted that the state education sector has also become a reference point in the country, while students from the state have continued to distinguish themselves in national and international competitions and examinations.
They put the program, and it has been awesome. We all know that the governor came to that program at the finals to issue out the prize gift to the winners. showing the effort of these NGOs. We've been into so many projects. Just like what the Honorable Commissioner was saying, we are partnering with the Ministry of Education in carrying out too many other projects in the Ministry of Education, too many of them. So the NGO is just selfless to make sure that our youth are not lazy, to prove to the world that Nigerian youth are not lazy, but they lack the platform for them to excel. That's what we're trying to do, and to make God be the glory, people are seeing what we're trying to achieve.
The permanent secretary of the ministry, Mr. Nwabeze Nwankwo, also received an award from the organization. In Awka, Paul Ezoke, ABS News.
Members of the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria have been charged to imbibe the practice of teamwork to promote efficiency and higher productivity. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joe Akabike, gave the charge when Anambra State branch of the association hosted the 2018 End of the Year Award luncheon and the investiture of its eighth state executive. Chibuzo Obidike filed the report, taken from our studio.
The Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria is a non-governmental, non-religious, non-partisan and non-profit-making professional organization with the purpose of furthering public interest by encouraging the study and advancement of practice of medical laboratory science. Dr. Akabike, who was given an award at the event, recounted some of the health reform programs of the state and appreciated the AMLSN for their contributions to the health sector and stressed the need for teamwork. The Health Commissioner advised the association to give easy access and encourage the younger members into the practice to raise the morale of students studying the course and assured that the state government will always partner the association to transform the state health sector.
Laboratory scientists are one of the people that should contribute to that. So I appreciate what they're doing, and this is one of the associations. And surprisingly, I don't know whether some of you noticed it, and I don't even know why. I have never been staying up there.
Delivering a lecture titled Medical Laboratory Service in Nigeria, Challenges, Threats and Opportunities, the chairman, Steering Board, West African Postgraduate College of Medical Laboratory Service, Dr. Gosway Okara, while noting that the tools of science and technology have revolutionized healthcare practice, noted that laboratory tests play an indispensable role in the early detection and accurate diagnosis of diseases, monitoring of treatment, disease surveillance and prevention.
Modern healthcare delivery practice is a multidisciplinary endeavor involving many professions and professionals. The introduction of science into medical practice stopped hunches, intuition and guesses in the art of medicine.
Also speaking, the national president of AMLSN, Dr. Bassi, represented by his vice, Dr. Felix Emelike, and the chairman on the occasion, Dr. Uche Odionyema, said that with commitment, hard work, discipline, the State Council of the Association will continue to record success and growth in profession, and thank the state government for cordial relationship with the association. Earlier in an opening remarks, the state chairman of AMLSN, Comrade Uche Ezenwa, stated that the theme for this year's edition, Medical Laboratory Service in Nigeria, is apt, as the need for empirical research is paramount to quality healthcare delivery.
9 deacons have been ordained priests and 9 postulants were made deacons by the Archbishop of the Ecclesiastical Province of the Niger and Bishop of Nnewi Diocese, Most Reverend Godwin Opala. The ordination service, which took place at the Cathedral Church of St. Mary's, Uruago, Nnewi, attracted members of clergy, knights and ladies of the church, as well as Anglican faithfuls, friends and well-wishers came to felicitate with the newly ordained. Our correspondent, Amaka Chibuzo was there and her reports.
Reverend Godwin Opala, a professor, while performing the function, charged them to proclaim by word and deed the gospel of Christ, fashion their life in accordance with its precepts, and to love and serve the people among whom they work, caring alike for strong, weak, rich, and poor. Most Reverend Professor Opala advised them to be true to their calling, trust and obey, as well as please God in their lives and raise more people for the kingdom of God, adding that they should preach the declare God's forgiveness to penitent sinners, and pronounce his blessings.
The primary motive for this is to go and convert souls so that they can make them. I want people to receive them very well, cooperate with them, and go and just God them so that they can also become children of the living God.
In a sermon during the ordination, the retired Bishop of Niger West Diocese, Right Reverend Professor Anthony Nkwoka, said as shepherds, they should lay down their lives for their flocks, live a holy life, as many are looking up to them for salvation, and as a priest, their ministry is for evangelism, winning souls, and caring for the sick. Right Reverend Professor Nkwoka told them, as a co-laborers in Christ, they should harvest souls, be diligent, spiritually balanced, and preach God's undiluted word anywhere they are posted.
Fear not, for I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day a Savior, who is Christ.
Speaking on behalf of the newly ordained priests, Reverends Obumneme Ifakandu and Kenechukwu Nzelibe, said that the journey of priesthood is not an easy task, and thank God who saw them through, while promising to be alive to their responsibilities of winning souls. Also in their separate speeches, on behalf of the ordinance, Messrs. Obediah Uzo and Anazado Chinemerem restates commitment to serve God, praying for his grace in their ministries, and promised to reflect Christ in their journey of life. The service featured spiritual rendition, prayers, and ordination processes, while some priests from sister churches were in attendance to show solidarity. From Cathedral Church of St. Mary, Uruagunewi, Amaka Chibuzokoye, ABS News.
In a bid to ensure free flow of traffic and hitch-free youth celebration in the Enugu community and environs, work on Nkwe-Enugu Link Road connecting Enugu to Expressway is in top gear. Emmanuel Okonkwo filed the report.
The road, totaling 6 kilometers with 4 bridges and 6 culverts, was flagged off in April 2015 by Governor Willie Obiano as part of measures to reduce congestion on the highway and open up avenue for more communities to evacuate farm produce, all parts of the state. Speaking to the ABS, the site engineer, Mr. Emmanuel Okoro, revealed that the road is 90% completed, remaining 2 kilometers to the expressway where earthwork is ongoing, after which they will finalize with the stone base. He appreciated Governor Obiano's proactive measures in providing the best road network in the country, assuring that they will stick to specifications.
We have less than 300 meters of drain on this side. That's the end. The earthwork is already at the expressway. So what we are preparing to do now is to start laying stone base.
Some youths of the area, Mr. Chinonso Udenze and Vincent Ifano, expressed delight with the speed with which the contractor is handling the project, thanking the state government for fulfilling its promise of completing the road. They noted that the road, when completed, will give room for expansion of the community development programs and give alternative routes to motorists across the state.
Our able brother with the contractor, our governor. Yes, because if I be a guy, and our brother contractor, no can mobilize this December. Called the motor rebel when you like for the Xmas period.
The person in charge, being the Akumas Construction, we commend him on the good work he is doing for our people, and also for the governor of Anambra State, Chief Dr. Willie Obiano, on Anambra State, for the good work he has been doing for our people.
At the site, workers were seen carrying out their duties in full force, while commuters were using the road to access various parts of the state. From Enugu, Emmanuel Okonkwo, ABS News.
No fewer than 7 persons were feared dead in a bloody communal land conflict between Okwiji clan in Enugu district and Ugbobi community in Apa local government area of Benue State. However, Benue State Police Command disclosed that it recorded 2 deaths in the crisis. It was gathered that the victims were killed in Okwiji by suspected military allegedly hired by Obobi community over a disputed parcel of land said to be rich in oil deposits. According to an eyewitness, the crisis between the 2 communities, which dated back several years, was renewed recently after a middle-aged man was murdered in a dupu by armed military from Obobi community. When contacted, the Benue State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ena Okon, confirmed the development but noted that the police recorded 2 deaths in the crisis, while the police have recorded some arrests, including the village head of Obobi community, who allegedly masterminded the crisis and the killings. Mr. Okon said security has been beefed up in the affected communities to forestall further breakdown of law and order in the area. Qatar will withdraw from the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, the Gulf nation's energy minister Saad Sherida Al-Kabi has announced. The decision to quit the bloc of 15 oil-producing countries that account for a significant percentage of the world's oil production was confirmed by Qatar Petroleum, the country's state oil company. Qatar is the first Gulf country to leave the bloc of oil-producing countries. Since 2013, the amount of oil Qatar produced has steadily declined from about 728 barrels per day in 2013 to about 607,000 barrels per day in 2017, or just under 2% of OPEC's total output. Meanwhile, total production during the same period increased from 30.7 million barrels per day to 32.4 million barrels per day. Qatar joined OPEC in 1961, 1 year after the organization's establishment. Earlier this week, OPEC and Russia, who together produce about 40% of the world's oil, said they agreed on new oil production cuts to ensure the oil price does not drop too much in the coming months. In October, the oil price reached a 4-year high of $86, but since then the price has dropped again to about $60 per barrel. The Presidency and the Federal Ministry of Finance are yet to sign the African Trade Insurance ATI Treaty, thus delaying the country's membership of the regional body. ATI is a Pan-African institution that provides political risk insurance to companies, investors, and lenders interested in doing business in Africa. The Nigerian government is expected to make $50 million commitment through the National Insurance Commission, NICOM, which would enable it to attract more foreign direct investments by insuring its trade and investments. NICOM has paid $20 million with commitment to pay outstanding $30 million as soon as the country get back the backing of the President, Federal Ministry of Finance, and the legislature in order to become a full-fledged member of ATI. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmad confirmed the situation, however, indicated government's willingness to join the body. Speaking in Abuja at a forum on de-risking Nigeria's investment and trade organized by ATI, Ahmad said the Federal Executive Council had in September 2017 granted approval for Nigeria to join ATI in order to provide risk guarantees for foreign investments as well as boost exports in the country. She, however, failed to disclose why the delay in signing up the nation's membership. Ahmad expressed hope that the entry of ATI would change the fortune of trade and investment flows with the enabling of the Economic Growth and Recovery Development Program of the present administration. 11-year-old Daniela Soje, a young artist from Nigeria, was one of the 3 girls from Africa that won the International Powerpuff Girl Award by using toothpicks, matchsticks, beads, and other household materials to create artistic designs, and she has set out to inspire young people in her community to embrace art as a tool for wealth creation and effective waste management. Daniela has championed the conversion of turning everyday trash into beautiful works of art, and through her project, Trash to Art, she sets to empower over 100 kids and teenagers in Lagos mainland by equipping them with skills that will enable them to become financially independent while motivating them to care for their environment. To ensure continuity and sustainability, participants of Daniela's 2-week summer art classes will become members of the Daniel Art Studio Club, offering them a platform that provides networking opportunities and the exchange of resources and ideas among kid art entrepreneurs. Besides juggling school, homework, and art classes, Daniela would definitely help save the world before bedtime by raising an army of young art and environment ambassadors. Nearly 85 families have fled their homes in various areas of the northern city of Mosul following 2 days of flash floods, an Iraqi civil defense official has said. The heavy rain paralyzed traffic, causing widespread disruption with schools and offices closed. 6 bridges and 300 tents in the Nimrod refugee camp were reportedly damaged as a result of the heavy rainfall. The floods have come after unusual heavy rain and early rainfall, which has been plaguing the Levant region for a few weeks now. It has spurred increasing pressure on Iraq's new government to provide services and fix infrastructure in provinces hard hit by the 2014-2017 war against the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant Group, and by years of neglect that critics blame on corruption. Mosul's residents blame local and central governments, with one resident calling for the intervention of foreign experts to renovate the city's decaying sewage system. Heavy rain is expected to return across much of Iraq by the end of the week, with civil defense officials on alert to avoid further damage, officials have said. Family members and friends have paid their last respect as remains of late Mr. Stephen Nwankwo was laid to rest over the weekend at his country home, Ifite Village, Nanka, Orumba North Council area. He passed on at the age of 81. Correspondent Emmanuel Chibata completes the story.
The burial service was well attended by members of the clergy, in-laws, friends and well-wishers who testified that late Mr. Nwankwo was a devout and compassionate Christian who had served God and humanity throughout his lifetime. Delivering a homily during a requiem mass at St. Anthony's Catholic Church, Nanka, the officiating priest, Reverend Father Emma Ofomata, who reiterated the utmost importance of working together with Christ while on earth, affirmed that every individual have a specific time to spend, adding that death is inevitable for all mortals, while extolling the virtues of the deceased as a great icon and advocate of righteousness, as well as lover of truth. Reverend Ofomata, who called on Christians to live a life of holiness, said that every individual must give account of stewardship to the Creator, adding that man must be judged according to what he has done on earth.
Only the pure, only the can see somebody outside. I am an eyesight the watch but Jesus is there, helping us there. I know it be with that purity that stands on here. And when I hear through the merits of this Mass, when you're not in the I can stay a marriage, begin to give your child.
While commiserating with the family of the deceased, the traditional ruler of Nanka, Igwe Godwin Ezilo, and some friends and in-laws to the family, including Mr. Chinedu Ezonwebu, Mr. Oji Ukebu, Engineer Dominic Okafor, and Mr. Shuka Agba, described the deceased as a man who worked assiduously and adhered seriously to community development, advising the family of the bereaved to take solace in good life that their father lived, even as they also prayed God to give them the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss.
Na ndụ nwoke bili n'ụwa ahụ Stephen na ndụ ya mara ezigbo mma and otu ọnwa ka ndụ ụmụ ya dịkwa ka Chineke mee ka ụmụ ya sorokwa ọkpụrụ nke ọ gbado ozigbo ọkpụrụ nke ọ gara ka ha nwee ike iketakwa alaeze n'eluigwe.
My advice for the family is to continue the good works and legacy of the great people, and this is the opportunity for them to even improve the brotherly and sisterly relationship among them, and also look after their mom.
In their separate speeches, the wife and children of the deceased, Mrs. Virginia Nwankwo, Mr. Cosmas Nwankwo, and Mrs. Chinwe Ukebu, expressed gratitude to those who contributed in giving their father a befitting burial, assuring that the unity and love their father left them will continue to exist, and prayed God to rest his soul in perfect peace.
As Catholics, we believe in praying for the dead. So my prayer is that if he hasn't made it in heaven, that our prayers will make him to overcome the remaining obstacles so that he will be in heaven.
Okay. My only prayer for him is that Lord will grant him eternal rest, so that where he will stay with angels.
The burial ceremony witnessed dance and condolence visits from friends and well-wishers. From Ifite Nanka in Orumba North Council area, I am Emmanuel Chibata reporting for ABS News.
And on that sad note, we come to the end of the news at 7 for this morning. But remember that you can follow news and programs on NBS from any part of the world by logging on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. You can like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTelevision. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Well, before we go, the main points again. Obiano has urged members of Nigerian Legion to key into agriculture to improve the standard of living. State government has initiated more measures to promote technical education. 7 persons have been killed in communal land conflict in Benue State. And on the foreign scene, we told you that flash flood has sacked families in Iraq. That is the news for this morning. I am David Okwasile. Good morning. Anambra is up next.